Today for our liturgical minute, we continue our series of the basics of being a Lutheran. And today, how to respond to a disruption. I kind of started us off because I had Tom in the back, like pouring the pennies of one jug into another jug, which was really loud. But I was setting the scene, right, to see what people would do. No, just kidding. So let's face it, there are many ways that we can have disruptions in a worship service. If we have children in our midst, we all know how blessed we are, but the likelihood of a disruption increases greatly, many times happy disruptions. So we want to be very respectful, of course, if parents of children come in, that their kids are okay being kids in our midst. We also have a lot of cell phones in the room, probably one per person, and sometimes they go off at unlikely times. However, you could take Barb's strategies. Barb, where's Barb? Is she here? Hi, Barb. I like Barb's strategy. She has a ringtone that sounds like a harp. So if someone calls during worship, it sounds like the angels are calling. So it really works. No, yours doesn't go off during worship. But there are a few things that we can do to handle disruptions. There are a few things we can control, and of course, things we can't control. We can control turning our own cell phones to do not disturb. So if you don't know how to do this, I'm happy to show you. I kind of just learned it myself not long ago. Be mindful of your own chatter. A lot of times people think we're whispering, and we're just really not whispering. And so I invite you to consider that. Usually we're pretty good about that, especially during the prelude, so that we can enjoy this as a meditative, quiet time. But there are things in worship that are out of our control, like when kids come. So the strategy there is just let kids be kids as much as we can and know that the overall good is better than our disruption to worship. You could try shushing others. Although it is effective, it may not make you friends. I would recommend maybe getting up and going over and ask people, hey, can you take your conversation out in the hall? They might do it. They might also not be your friend. I would ask the ushers to monitor this, but we all kind of know it's usually them talking. But for good reason. Turning and glaring is another strategy, but I would say, as with shushing, probably not going to win you friends. Sound system disruptions and technology disruptions, that's probably one of the most likely ones we're to have. Be patient. We don't always know why our technology does what it does. Sometimes we have to have an exorcism for our technology. We are not experts, but we do our best. If technology and sound interruptions are disturbing you, I recommend that you put an additional envelope in the plate marked technology upgrades. One of the best suggestions I read about, which still doesn't pertain to us, is when you have acolytes. You know those shoes where the kids step and they light up? That if you have acolytes with light-up shoes, to consider coordinating the color with the colors of the season. But I don't know, Pat might be getting an idea for Rex. But the most important thing to remember is that worshiping in community is a blessing, but it also has disruptions that are a part of it. And they're usually minor. We all know that the only way that we worship with zero distractions is to worship alone, and that's really just no fun. We're better when we're together, and sometimes that comes with some bumps along the way.